Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead and another What We Eat for Dinner in a Week. In these videos, I show you how I combine inexpensive Aldi groceries with food that we are blessed with from the food pantry to make hopefully well-balanced, well-rounded meals. As a family, we generally eat low carb because my husband and I have to for health reasons. And as the sole cook in the house, it's just easier for me to make one meal than to try to short order cook it. But sometimes you'll see variations to that, and I'll kind of explain as we go. So it is Monday night, and this meal is one of my favorites to make when we need to go to the grocery store, which we do. It's been about 3 weeks since we went. We have doctor's chiropractic appointments tomorrow. And we need to go to the library. We have several errands that we need to run. So we are going to go to the grocery store while we were out. But this one is really good to do if you have little bits and pieces of vegetables that you need to use. So small amounts, that's not enough to make for one meal, all, carrots or whatever. But you can kind of combine them all to make one thing. So this is one pack, like one of the smoked sausages or kielbasas from Aldi. And I just kind of half moon sliced that. With that is about 5 mini peppers, 3 diced carrots, 1 large sweet potato, and 2 small, medium yellow potatoes, a bag of frozen Brussels sprouts from Aldi, 1 crown of broccoli, 1 zucchini that's chopped up, 1 can of green beans that I just drained. And then I open my seasoning drawer and just season. So there's some seasoned salt, there's some oregano, there's some parsley, there's some Italian seasoning, garlic, salt, pepper, onion powder, just a little bit of everything. And then I drizzle it really well with some avocado oil. And then I bake that at 400 for, about an hour. That will vary depending on how much you make. This is slightly larger than 9 by 13 inch pan, so it's a lot. So it took a little over an hour to get the potatoes and the carrots done. And it also depends on what vegetables you do. Obviously, you could stagger putting in the vegetables because the zucchinis are very well cooked. But I just throw it all in there and let them cook. This is a great one on about every 20 minutes or so. I would open it up and stir it, but that's literally all that you do. So I was washing dishes and doing other things while it cooked. So to serve this, it is really good with some seasoned rice, like some oniony rice or one of the seasoned packets of rice. It would be really good over pasta cooked in broth or buttered noodles. It would be good with mashed potatoes, if you need to bulk this up. I didn't tonight do any of those because I am tired and just ready for this day to be over. It's Monday after a daylight savings time on a Sunday. Y'all, I'm exhausted. So, I just kind of did simple. I don't even have great measurements on the seasoning. I just season with literally, this is a throw together whatever you have. Whatever small amounts of vegetables you have. It's really good with peas, corn, anything like that. I was trying to do heavier on the low carb vegetables for my husband and I. And what I will do is whenever I dip this up, I will just pick out the potatoes and the carrots, and I'll do a few of those, but I usually pick out the majority of those, and the kids get those, and my husband and I just get the low carb vegetables. So, all right. Oh, it would be good over cauli rice as well if you're doing low carb and want another bulk thing to kind of up it. So that is Monday night. We will see you hopefully less tired tomorrow. All right. It is Tuesday night. I'm sorry about the horrible lighting. This time of year is awful. I really need a light over my stove, but there's not a plug-in over here. So, old house, really old house, 160 years old house. So, plug-ins are a hot commodity in this house. So, tonight we went to, like I said yesterday, the chiropractor, my doctor. Got a good update on that one. The grocery store and the library. So we had a busy day. So I kind of went with an easy meal, even though we had all of these beautiful groceries in the house. We have hot dogs that I threw in the air fryer. They don't look pretty, but they'll taste fine. And I don't even have buns for those because didn't think about that. A box of mac and cheese for the kids. Cheesy broccoli. Seriously, awful. Cheesy broccoli for my husband and I. Baked beans for the kids. I may end up pulling chips out, and then I do have like condiments to put on the hot dogs. So nice, quick, and easy meal. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Wednesday night, and tonight I made the chicken zucchini pesto bake. So I took the rest of that humongous chicken from Saturday. If you have not seen that video, go back and watch last week's what we eat for dinner and skip ahead to Saturdays just to look at that giant chicken. It was hilarious. So I took the rest of that. There was probably a solid 3 cups of meat chopped up. Put that in the bottom of this pan. On top of that, I did about 1/4 cup of pesto. Sorry if you can hear the sink running in the background. My kids just came in from playing outside, so they're all washing hands, getting ready for dinner. About 1/4 cup of pesto, and I just kind of spread that over the chicken. Then I did 3 zucchinis, so they were like those small to medium zucchinis from Aldi. I chopped those up and put that on top. I baked that at 400 for about half an hour, and then I topped that with a good handful, so probably a cup of mozzarella cheese, and sprinkled that on top and baked it until the cheese was melted. So you're going to bake because the chicken was already cooked, you're just going to bake it until the zucchini is done. If you want to, you can use raw chicken. You just might have to adjust the cook time to the chicken being done. For the kids, I took the carcass from the chicken, that giant one, and made just some simple broth. And I cooked, there was about 1/4 of the broth, and I cooked, I would say there was probably 2 cups of pasta in that. And you just set it to boil, then throw your pasta in, and then kind of turn it down to where it's just a simmer, and continue to cook it until it has absorbed all of the liquid. I'm going to try to do this without steaming up the camera. See, no more liquid. And if it's not quite done yet, add a little bit more hot water. And if it's not done, add a little bit more, and just keep going until you have used up all the liquid and the pasta is cooked. Cooking pasta in broth is a great way of adding in some great nutrition. I mean, really and truly, broth, meat stock, bone broth, they are so good for your body. So it's a great way of just bulking up the pasta to make it a little bit healthier, since it's just kind of empty carbs. But it also adds a lot of flavor to it too. My husband and I will just not have pasta, and we'll just eat the zucchini bake. There's a really good chance we're going to polish off that entire pan tonight. It's a little bit bigger than 9 by 13, but it's skinnier than a 9 by 13. So there's not as much there as looks. And I know myself, I can eat an entire zucchini by myself with zucchini fries. So, you know. All right. So that is Wednesday night. We will see you tomorrow. It is Thursday night, and tonight we are having cabbage roll in a bowl. This is a great low-carb option, and it is a cheap meal. So I did the pound of ground sausage from Aldi, and I browned that up. To that, I added in about half of a medium-sized cabbage, 2 carrots shredded up, so both of those shredded up, and 1 red onion shredded up. And I cooked that until the cabbage and carrots are done to your liking. So if you like them a little bit crunchier, leave it that way. If not, don't. I added some salt, but I didn't add a whole lot because the sausage is so salty. And then some ginger powder. Fresh ginger would be great. Some garlic. And then I did some coconut aminos, which is a soy sauce alternative. So you can use soy sauce as well. Use low salt soy sauce if you're watching your salt intake. So it can be a low salt, it's a low carb, it can be low fat because you can use ground turkey instead of ground sausage. Whatever you need it to fit your diet, it works. And then when that's all done, I kind of do this number with all of it. And I cracked 2 eggs in the inside just to boost the protein level a little bit. And we have eggs, so we might as well. So then I just cook it all until it's done. I just keep stirring. I would say it took maybe 20 minutes max to cook. Maybe another 15 minutes to shred everything up. So it's a fairly quick one. Especially you can use the bagged coleslaw mix and make this for really quick. If you don't want to have to shred the cabbage and all of that yourself. So this is not my kids' favorite meal. One of mine, when I said what I was making, he was like, oh man. And I said, hey, guess what? I don't like hot dogs. They are not my favorite food. I could go the rest of my life without eating hot dogs, but I still make them because they're your favorite and you like them and you request them. So this is a mom meal that, yeah, it's not your favorite, but you'll still eat it and it's one of my favorites. So we make sacrifices for our kids and our kids are just gonna have to make sacrifices for us. So to get them to eat this a little more willingly, I will put sweet and sour sauce on theirs. And I will make sure to put plenty of it on there for them. For mine, I do like putting a little bit of the Bang Bang sauce on there. It's a little spicy, but not bad. And at 3 carbs for 1 tablespoon, it's not bad. And 1 tablespoon of the Bang Bang sauce is usually enough. If you like it really spicy, then 2, but really it does not take much of that to do good. It is completely fine without anything on it, but just if you like to spice it up a little bit. The other weird thing is that I will eat this for breakfast. It's sausage and cabbage and eggs. I mean, come on. I just won't put the sauce on it and I will add extra scrambled eggs to it. And it's kind of like, I don't know, like one of those breakfast bowl things that they try to sell for exponentially higher price than it costs them to make kind of thing. I mean, fried cabbage for breakfast is delicious and sausage for breakfast is delicious. So that's what I do. So, and I like weird breakfasts. My mom and I will eat meatloaf for breakfast. So. All right, that is Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Friday night, and Friday night at our house means pizza night. Sometimes that's store-bought, sometimes that's homemade, sometimes it's a cross between the two. It is almost never takeout pizza because we live too far out in the country for takeout to be delivered to us. And I can make a whole lot of frozen pizzas, store-bought or otherwise, for a whole lot cheaper than takeout pizza. For us to have takeout pizza, the last time we did it, it's been about a year ago because it was one of my son's birthdays requested it. It was, I'm wanting to say like $40 for us. So at the cheapest, probably $20. And I can buy 4 of the Mama Cozy's giant pizzas for that price. So we just don't do it. So tonight is kind of a cross between the two of the homemade and store-bought. These are mini naan. Let me get the package. Those, okay, and we got those from the food pantry, and they make perfect little mini pizzas. Oh no, that one stuck to the thing. All right, so I put them on the cookie sheet. I put on some pasta sauce, cheese, pepperoni. There's some over here without pepperoni because my little one does not like the pepperoni. It gets a little spicy when you cook it, so she doesn't like it. She'll eat it raw all day, but so then I bake it at 400 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. Depends on how toasted you like the bottom and how browned you like the cheese. And then I just pull it out of the oven and it's done. So hang on just a second. I'll show you what they're having with it. All right. With that, they are having salads, pretty simple ones. We've got romaine heart, slivered or sliced almonds for one of them that wanted them, and then either croutons or French fried onions. And then they're going to have grapes with that as well. There's my 3-year-old's plate. I do cut up grapes for the 3-year-old and the 5-year-old because choking scares me. And then, oh yeah, I put honey mustard on the salads. All right. For me, I have no idea. I ended up fasting through breakfast this morning because I got a phone call from a family member who needed some time to talk. And so by the time I got off the phone with them, it was time for me to get started with school. So I ate like a spoonful of, I ate a half of one of those packets of almond butter for breakfast. And then for lunch, for whatever reason, I still was not hungry. Okay, not for whatever reason. The cabbage roll in a bowl did not set well with my lower intestine. And when that happens, I don't get hungry. My body's like, I need a break. I need to not eat. So it was about 1:30 before I ate lunch. And when I ate lunch, I had the leftover of the zucchini and chicken bake from earlier this week. Right. My days are running together. No, that was from last week. No, that was from Wednesday. Yeah, I had that. We made that Wednesday. So I had the leftovers of it, and it was a pretty large portion, and I added some extra butter to it because I was craving some fat, so I was going to listen to my body and do that. And because of that, it is now 7:00 and I'm not hungry. I'm getting toward hungry, but I just don't know. The other day I made where I took some shredded lettuce and put in the bottom of a bowl, and then I put some lunch meat chopped up on top of that, some tomato, some sliced, thinly sliced red onion, and then some cheese, and I just put that in the toaster oven under the broiler until the cheese was melted and everything was hot, and then I topped it with some ranch dressing, and it was amazing. And so I may end up doing that because that kind of sounds good. So, yeah, that's probably what I'll end up doing. Okay, tonight is also the one night a week that we do dessert for sure. I gave the kids ice cream last night because I wanted some yogurt. But when it comes to dessert, sometimes I make something like those cookies that we got from the food pantry, or I will cut like any other desserty type of things that we get from the food pantry. I will lay all of the options out and let the kids pick and choose. Sometimes I make something, sometimes I don't. So tonight we will have dessert. Whenever I have dessert, to keep it low carb and easy on my stomach, I will do Greek yogurt with a spoonful of peanut butter mixed in, some diced strawberries or raspberries if I have them, and sometimes some low-carb friendly granola or like some low-carb friendly cereal, and then sometimes some like mini chocolate chips, something along those lines. So, all right, we are going to eat this and watch a movie, so we'll see you tomorrow. All right, it is a cold and windy and snowy Saturday. So, I went ahead and decided to I was going to do chicken pot pie, and instead I did chicken and biscuits. This is an old recipe that I've had around for a long time, and the website is hillbillyhousewife.com, and I will try to find the link for this. It's their creamed chicken recipe, and it's a base recipe of creamed chicken, and then from there you can do a bunch of different things with it. So you can use it as chicken pot pie, chicken divan, chicken and biscuits, chicken and noodles. It's like a bunch of different things. So it is a nice recipe, and that website is also pretty cool too. They have an emergency menu on there that's really cool. I'm sure it's very outdated on the prices, but it's like $40 for X amount of days, and it breaks it down on like everything to buy and everything that you need to do each day to feed your family. It's pretty cool. So I'll try to link that in the show notes as well if I can find it, because it's old. This is a recipe that I know I have had since early marriage, and my husband and I have been together since 2006. So, married since 2006. We've been together a lot longer than that because we are high school sweethearts. So you make the base recipe, and then I baked it with biscuits on top. This is just my drop biscuit recipe. To make this is obviously not low carb. So what I did is I boiled the potatoes separate in a different pan. And before I mixed those in, I made me a batch just without the potatoes. So I did carrots, green beans, onions. That was everything, right? I think that was everything. And on mine, I was thinking about doing some keto biscuits on top, and I'm tired. It's been a long day. I'm done. So I just threw mozzarella cheese on top of mine. You can use frozen vegetables. This is a great use for canned mixed vegetables. It's just a really nice, hearty, creamy meal. So then the other modification that I did to make it low carb is it calls for flour as the thickener to make like the gravy sauce. I used about a teaspoon, no, less than a teaspoon, about 3/4 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. That's a fun one to say. It is a low carb thickening agent. It's less than 1 gram for 1/4 of a teaspoon. And you won't get 1/4 of a teaspoon in the serving that I will eat. So that's a good option, and it works just like, well, no, I can't say that. It doesn't work just like cornstarch or just like flour. I sprinkle it on the top of everything after I added the liquid in, and I've used it in soup before the same way. You can add it to hot liquid. It's not like cornstarch that you can't add it to, you have to add it to cold. I'm rambling. Okay, it's been a long day. So today is the end of my meals of the week. That is because tomorrow when we get home from church, I will pull out all of the leftovers and let the kids pick and choose whatever they want. I make up plates, we put them in the toaster oven, and it just warm up individual plates of food. For dinner tomorrow night, I really try not to cook on Sundays. I try not to work on Sundays. I don't clean the house or do laundry or anything like that. So for dinner tomorrow night, I will pull out charcuterie board things. So pickles, cheese, goat cheese, crackers, cured meats, dried fruits, nuts. Usually I pull out some kind of like the chocolate bars or cookies or something like that. And I lay it all out. And once again, I let the kids pick and choose their plates, whatever they want on them. And for that meal, I even use paper plates so I don't have to wash dishes. I have about 1 day's worth of dishes. So if I do tonight until tomorrow or until Monday morning, I have just enough dishes to not wash dishes on Sundays. So that is the end of our week of meals. I will try to remember to post any relevant recipes in the show notes. That's it. I'm done. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye. God bless. Love ya.